There were a group of people who were legally given a 50-year head start. More than that, but I'm going to show you in this video, legally, people getting together, conspiring. This is not conspiracy theory. Getting together to conspire to say, give these people a head start, man. Give these people a head start before we start to treat these other people civilly. So, it's a sensitive topic for me, and I'm going to tell you why. In the year 2026, the other people that I'm talking about before we treat them civilly is black people, right? Me, black American. I can trace my grandfather, who was a black man blended in with the Native American tribes. It's not to say that the black man was native to this country. It's two separate things. However, there were plenty of cases where the descendants of West African slaves were integrated into the Native American tribes here in North America. In this series, I'm going to show you how powerful white men had meetings with other powerful white men to decide how things are going to play out. And then I'm going to show you the repercussions of those decisions. We could just talk a little bit now about some of those repercussions. Just to sum it up, early 1900s, 1901, 1902, and 3. You had a few wealthy white men who got together. They formed organizations. We're going to talk about these organizations. The Southern Education Board and the General Education Board. And basically, they said, how do we move out from here? And they made the decision. You're going to see this in my series to say, listen, we got to take care of the white folks first. Make sure they got schooling and all of that. But we have to suppress the intellectual black person. Just listen to me. Because I get pissed off in the year 2026 at people who just speak ignorantly. Because we turned out to be a violent people. We don't play a lot of games. We will kill each other. We have no problem killing each other. And I don't want us to go around and just start killing another race. That is not my message. What I'm saying is we don't have no problem doing it to ourselves. That's what I'm saying. There's a reason for that. Hit the like button. Hit the hype button because I'm going to educate you. So if you ever watch any of my videos and you see you kind of say, yo, why this nigga be acting square, bro? Like he don't know what time it is. It's not that I'm square. When it comes to the ability, I got the same ability than the man next to you. I can pop your head off too, sucker. But that's too easy. Because I understand why we behave like this. And I don't get upset at you. I get upset at the men who created this system. Now let me tell you something else before we start our show. Those men were white. I don't have a problem with white people. I do have a problem with white people who exploit our pain. I do. Why wouldn't I? I got a problem with black people that exploit our pain. You can't see that? You can't see that? I don't really pick and choose. If I feel like you exploiting ignorance, exploiting our pain, you the one. You the one I'm choosing. It don't got nothing to be with being a tough guy. And just because you're a sucker, don't equate me for some he's trying to be. I'm not trying to be anything. I am who I am. Trust and believe that. The Adam 22s. Who's this? Al Prophet. The other British guy. I don't know all of it. There's a bunch of it. It becomes trendy after a while. Right? They not even all black. They not even all white. The tiger from the uppercut, tiger from the souls. Y'all don't understand. Y'all don't. Y'all empathize and maybe sympathize. But what I'm telling you is you do not understand what it is like to be us. And here's the thing, bro. You can't. Right? So I kind of despise these people a little bit. And as we get into this education, you will see why. Let's just jump into this education right now, why don't we? That man there on the screen is somebody. Let me take this off. Hold on. There we go. That man on the screen is somebody I've been doing videos on for the past 2 weeks. People have been trying to figure out, yo, what's going on, man? Prince is a real one, man. They can't explain to me why, right? He had caught 7 life sentences. He's home. You understand? I watch his show. For the most part, I enjoy the show. But I don't want him honored as a criminal. By the end of this video series, you will find out why. I wrote, they engineered a 50-year head start. In 1901, the captains of industry agreed to lock one race out of economic game for 50 years while building the infrastructure of the other. But they forgot one thing. When you deny people a legal path to build wealth for 50 years, you don't eliminate their drive to survive. This is a fact. You don't do that. In fact, what you do, you force them to build an alternative economy. Now, I don't want you guys to get it twisted. I appreciate the hustle in us. But it's bigger than the chinchillas. It's bigger than the limousines. It's bigger than the wads of cash. Because what happens is, those are isolated stories. How many stories did we get that we don't tell anyway? About how many people was just trying to get out there and figure it out and got murdered. Right? They may not have been as tough as everybody else. Or maybe it was just, it just came with the game. You was with this crew tried to take out this crew for territory, and you caught that. My anger comes from the fact that we were even put in that position. And we was put in that position for a reason, because these men decided, we won't allow them to get certain jobs that pay certain salaries. We won't allow that, but we will allow them to be blue collar. And there's nothing wrong. Shout out to the blue collar. There's nothing wrong with you, blue collar man, and I salute you. So this is not a W.E. Du Bois against George Washington Carver situation, or Booker T. Washington. My bad. This is not a Booker T. Washington against W.E. Du Bois. This is not one of those situations. This is straight up. There was, how many, can we all work blue collar jobs? Is blue collar all our purpose? No. Some of us was meant to be doctors. Some of us was meant to be lawyers. I could see that already with the brilliant minds that we got on us. But they wouldn't allow us to do that. And that's where my anger comes from, because either way you slice it, it's going to be a shortage of jobs. And then what the people supposed to do? So as we was forced to build an alternate economy, by 1951, when the blockade finally collapsed, the streets of cities like New York, there's all type of California, Watts, LA. There was a new type of capitalist in town. You understand? A new type of capitalist in town. Just keep going. We're going to go deep into the education today, because I want you walking away actually knowing what you're talking about. And I want you knowing who did it. It's not okay to just make money off our pain because of what we became. Yeah, a lot of us are ignorant and angry and violent. But guess who made that? The Shadow Board of Education, a deep investigation into the origins of Federal Education Authority in the United States, from the gutted Department of 1867 to the Rockefeller-funded General Education Board and the half-century compromise that shaped American schools, race, and ultimately the Carousel State. The first Federal Department of Education, 1867. All right, this is interesting. So I want you to remember that slaves were freed in 1865, and this is what I often try to explain to people. We were never free. I just use those words. I say we was never free because you can't free someone into nothing and then immediately make it illegal for them to be vagrants, right? So if you say, okay, you free to go. Okay, I don't have no home. I don't got no resources. I don't have any money, right? So if I leave your property and they immediately made it illegal to be a vagrant, okay, I mean, I'm not that, doesn't feel like freedom to me, does it? Nonetheless, let's go. On March 2nd, 1867, that's 2 years after Emancipation Proclamation, President Andrew Johnson signed legislation formally establishing an independent federal level Department of Education, right? The first of its kind in American history. So it's like, you know what this is like? It's like when you've been up all night talking to your friends and you have a business idea. They're like, yeah, man, that's dope. You should get on that right away. So what you do is when you wake up in the morning, you just buy the domain, right? Thesenuts.com. You buy that because you're like, yo, this is a crazy idea. So you buy it. But you don't really do nothing with it. Now it is established though. But it's just a storefront. It's just like it's not even brick and mortar. It's just you got the label. At its head was the Commissioner of Education, with Henry Bernard serving as the first appointee. Its champions were Representative James A. Garfield and educator Henry Bernard. a severely limited mandate. Despite its ambitious title, this new department was strictly forbidden from what? From managing, directing, or funding schools. Again, you got no power. All you got is thesnuts.com. You don't have anything else. The intense fears of federal intrusion into state rights, especially during Reconstruction, meant it only permitted function was to collect statistics and data about the nation's school systems. It was an independent federal authority in name only, deliberately stripped of meaningful power before it could act. The demotion. I'm glad we going at this speed. Hit the like button if you haven't hit it already. Do hit the hype button if I have to remind you to do that, because this is education. I'm gonna educate you on something. Why we are celebrating us being violent with each other, how our kids ended up just running drills on each other. All of this stems from this right here, because they don't never let up, right? They don't never let up. It's always some covert operation to keep us suppressed, and I don't like when we fall for it. So it's not that I'm an L7, it's that somebody has to be in the room that's going to be mindful to say chill, don't do that, right? And matter of fact, we need somebody to be articulate, so I don't need you to talk like a street nigga. I actually need you to, because I'm gonna send you as a representative somewhere. There's a video called Spook Who Sat by the Door. If you never seen it, check it out. Now, if that wasn't bad enough of just being a label only, that even got taken away. So, July 20th, 1868, there was a demotion of that scarce department. The independent Department of Education lasted only 16 months. That's a year and a half. On July 20th, 1868, Congress struck it down. Okay. They renamed it Department of Education. It went from the Department of Education to the Office of Education. There we go. Demoted. Placed inside the Department of the Interior, no longer independent. And it was also defunded. So the budget was slashed, staff reduced to a handful of clerks. Now, you may have a bunch of reasons why this happened. I'm not worried about that part. I'm giving you the history that it happened. Right? So you can save me with, oh, well, that happened because I didn't ask you why. I'm telling you it happened. So that I don't even know if it matters why. It happened. This swift demolition left the United States as one of the only major industrializing nations without a centralized federal body to fund, direct, and standardize public schooling, creating a vacuum with enormous consequences. So I want us to understand that this decision did not only affect black people right now. We're talking about there's no adequate funds for schooling, period, for the white community, for the black community, for the Native American community, for any of the communities. There's not a real schooling system. They're not federally, they're localized, right? They're local. Why was it demoted, though? The historical debate. The standard historical narrative holds that the demotion was purely political. At the height of Reconstruction, conservative forces in Congress feared a powerful federal education authority would be used by radical Republicans to force integrated schooling in the South or impose a centralized northern curriculum on the states. Under the 10th Amendment, they argued education must remain strictly local, so they gutted the department. We have to remember, the atmosphere of the South. They were really used to the black people at a certain status. Obviously, we were just slaves, right? So it's like, alright, you can't be equal to me all of a sudden. That's kind of crazy. Like, your entire race were slaves a second ago. We were taking advantage of your women anytime we wanted to, and your men, buck breaking them. We were doing anything we wanted to you people, and now you're my equal. It cannot be, right? So these people, they were conditioned to thinking already they were better, so I'm not going to send my kids to school with your kids all of a sudden. They did not like the North, and they did not really care for blacks. Let's just get that out the way. Argument B, a corporate power vacuum by design. An alternative perspective argues this was the opening move in a long campaign to keep public education decentralized until it could be reorganized under a model that favored to the industrial interests. By tying the federal government to more data collection, it left a massive power vacuum in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, one that private capital would soon fill with extraordinary precision. There we go. If you ask me, I'm gonna go with A. However, here's the thing about that I see, that I've learned so far on this earth about wealthy men. They will get in there and start to make some decisions when it doesn't look like anything is moving, especially when they have things to lose, or they have enough stake in the industry to gain from the situation. Either one. Beginning in 1898, a series of elite invitation-only gatherings known as the Conferences for Education in the South, the Capon Springs Conferences, brought together three distinct and enormously powerful factions to design the modern American education system. Now, if you watch my show, you may often hear me talk about these three. You definitely hear me talk about the first one, which is Rockefeller. I talk about him all the time because it's him and this other guy, Carnegie, that designed the education system that doesn't teach our children nothing today. You don't believe me, but this is why I'm doing this series. This series is actually part of a bigger series because they didn't only just design our board of education, they designed our health system too. So every time I see one of y'all with an F cancer shirt on or an F cancer hat, you know what I'm saying, and you saying that in the camera, you know, F cancer, this, that, and the third. Yeah, we got a lot of style, so we can make anything probably stylish. You understand? We can make flies on doodle stylish, but that don't mean that it's appropriate at all, and that needs to be established. So what I would prefer for us to do is have some knowledge on the root causes of why things are happening. So it ain't just like, yo, F cancer, bro, and I'm gonna go out and get a shirt with the 2 C's that look like Chanel, but it's really like F cancer shirt. No, we're not doing that at all. We're gonna find out why this is happening, who's exploiting us, so that we can move different. Because we're not gonna sit around and beg somebody else to move different. That is insanity. Because they never move different. The Northern capitalists Rockefeller, Carnegie, and Robert Ogden brought massive private capital and a corporate appetite for efficient, standardized, compliant labor force. They have industries. And if black people are free, then guess what? We can use that energy. That's who these people are. That's who they have been for all their bloodlines, which goes back thousands, hundreds of thousands of years, in my opinion. But I cannot prove that, and now I'm delving off into conspiracy theory. So let us chill. But if you was to ask me, I say, nah, that's who they always been. They just want to drain. We're batteries to them, and they just want to drain us for our energy, and then that's it. We just batteries. We gotta understand that. It don't really matter what color we are. They only use that to their advantage. But if that advantage wears itself out, then y'all all batteries. We don't really care either way. Y'all can all get to work. The Southern reformers, moderate white educators and university presidents who wanted Northern money to rebuild shattered post-Civil War school infrastructure on their own terms. The Southern political elites, former Confederate officers, avowed white supremacists like J.L.M. Curry, who held political power in the Jim Crow South and demanded absolute racial hierarchy as the price of admission. So, if the North wanted to do business with the South, you had people, representatives like J.L.M. Curry, who was like, yeah, we could do business, but we ain't doing nothing unless y'all agree to keep black people in their place, which is below the white man. And that is not conspiracy. That is actual fact that he said that, he meant that, and they also compromised with him. But we'll get there. The General Education Board, 1902, 1903, into the vacuum. In 1902, John D. Rockefeller established the General Education Board. You know, I told a guy, he is a well-known scholar. He's over there on the House of Consciousness all the time, right? And I told him, yo, you know, John D. Rockefeller designed our education board that we have today, right? He said, nah, man, that stuff is pseudo. What are you talking about, bro? I was really disappointed because he's really a well-esteemed scholar. But for you to ignore the data that's right before you, or you don't know it and you know all this other stuff about Egypt and all this other stuff, is crazy. Because you live right here in the United States and you don't even know how our people were engineered to turn into the monsters that they perceive us to be, and that we are boldly can't wait to act out. To the point we running around saying seances over beats, that we animals and we killers. It gets deep. 1902, John D. Rockefeller established the General Education Board, stepping directly into the power vacuum left by Congress, gutting of the 1867 Department of Education. All a vacuum is there's nothing there. That's what vacuum means, right? There's nothing there. There's no wind. There's no particles. There's no nothing there. It's just empty space. So what it's saying is there was an empty space there because Congress had came through and was like, well, because of the 10th Amendment, we're not allowed to provide a board of education for these United States, right? So every state, you handle your own. However, the South is going to Reconstruction. But they too proud. They really don't want anybody's help because unless you're going to take all these Negroes away right now, we're going to handle it the way we're going to handle it. Usually that meant Jim Crow. Within a year, the General Education Board bypassed state level registration entirely and secured a federal charter from the U.S. Congress in 1903. Now, this is where things become interesting. And this shows you the power that Rockefeller had at the time. So this is not conjecture or me just saying things. No. When I say the man designed the Board of Education that we use, the framework that we use today, I just read to y'all there was not supposed to be any federally mandated Board of Education. However, he was able to use his influence to get a federal charter, official, legitimate, the U.S. government's implicit seal of approval. So what I'm saying to you right now, nobody should be debating you, oh, that's conspiracy. No. I'm telling you what was actually legitimate. Special tax exemptions enabling the management of a vast private fortune. Nationwide operating authority, the power to hold property, sign contracts, and direct policy across all states. This was official charter. A quasi-government body. By receiving a congressional charter, while the actual federal education department had been stripped to a data collection office, the General Education Board effectively functioned as the United States de facto shadow federal Board of Education. So, what does that mean? It's sort of like when the United States, the whole world was going through that situation in 2020 with the pandemic, but who was calling the shots? It was the WHO. The WHO was calling the shots. World Health Organization. But who had funded the World Health Organization with more than 50% of its budget? Bill Gates. So who's really calling the shots? Bill Gates. That's how it works. Anyway, they paid the salaries of state education officials. They built standardized curricula. They determined which colleges thrived and which was starved of resources. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go ahead and end this right here, and then we're gonna come back and fresh. We're gonna come back fresh for the next video. All right. Do me a favor. Obviously hit the like button. Obviously hit the hype button. But watch the next part, right? Watch the series through and through. I can't make everything so dopamine exciting, right? But what I can do is give you a little bit more knowledge to arm yourself with, so you understand what actually happened. Not like what you heard in the barbershop and it's not true. Nah, this actually happened. This actually happened. So you understand my pain also and my frustration when I see these white content creators that only do content on black people's pain. We don't really need you bigging up or glorifying certain things because you don't even know the horrific pain that caused to our communities like that. You see it, but unless you lived it, it's two totally different things. You listen to it on the music, you understand, you can report on it, but unless you lived it, you're not going, it's not the same. It's not the same.